I'm a couple hours away from the convoy. Long couple days. I can't wait to meet up with everybody. I met the guys running the convoy at Hagerstown. So when they left Hagerstown, I was really sad, just because I felt really safe with them. So I'm looking forward to meeting up with them again, and they're great people, and I'm excited to be part of it, no matter how big it is. I know that these guys are a lot more serious than the little circus that was before, which is fine. So I'm going to try to pay attention to the comments. What's up, Steve? Finally back in some nice weather. I've been thinking about convoy tactics for the last couple of weeks here. What makes a good convoy? And I didn't realize that I've been doing for years. I've kind of been doing what makes a great convoy. That's just kind of coming to a location for a few days and then leaving. And that's the great thing about the convoy, that it's moving. So I've been thinking of tactics. They kicked you out, Steve? Hi, Willie. Yes, Goof. I am goofy. Yep. They kicked him out. Didn't have any chance to try to respond to the convoy or talk to the leaders, have a chance to air their side of the story. They just booted them like Gestapo with Allied security. Yeah, it was not the people's convoy, that's for sure. Because a lot of people had a lot of concerns, and they wanted the convoy, they wanted places for the convoy to be, and they kicked out those people that were finding places for the convoy to be. And then guess what? There wasn't a place for the convoys to be, or at least the people who stayed behind. I'm in Dade City. Uh, yeah, and yeah, it was. There's a lot of good people in the People's Convoy. I'm glad I went to the People's Convoy. I'm glad I met all the people that I met, and you could bitch about it, or you could just go and do something that's better, or that you believe is better. And this, why I just drove all the way across the country from Chicago with my own money, was because these guys, I believe that these guys are serious, that they want something to change. I feel safe with them. Not that I need a safe place, but there was some shady people rolling around in the people's convoy. And instead of kicking those people out, they kicked out the other people who had some questions. So I'm not knocking on anybody there because I'm in touch with a lot of people still. And I didn't go in and do any of the meetings that much because I was more concerned with meeting the people. And that very thing is why I am still talking to a bunch of people. And a couple of live streamers from there that I'm still in touch with. And yeah. But I've been thinking convoy tactics. Yeah, Steve, I think Fritz Crafter is going to join. I talked to him yesterday or 2 days ago. I talked to him. And I met him in Missouri. Yeah, Missouri. And yeah, he's a nice guy, man. He's one of the good old boys. I like good old boys. They're always fun. And where he lives in like kind of by he's not too far from the Mark Twain National Forest. I've gone through there a bunch of times. And so it's beautiful. It's beautiful country there. But yeah, he's a good guy. He's just starting up. He taught me how to use the StreamYard that I'm using here. And the StreamYard is I'm streaming to multiple platforms. Yeah, he said he was taking care of his woman. She was sick or something happened to her. Oh man, it's already too hot. Yeah, he said that, and that was the issue with these organizers of the convoy. Uh, yeah, that he had they had a property secured in Texas, and these guys had a property secured here in Virginia, and they didn't want anything to do with it. Um, and that's why I'm with these guys because they have a property secured, allegedly. I'm not speaking for anybody. I'm totally independent. But I support these guys, and I believe in them, and I trust them. I trust them. That's the most important aspect of it is trusting them. They are. I just feel accountable. Now, I could always be wrong, but right now, those guys to me are they're gentlemen, and they want something better, and yeah, they want to be safe about it, and so and they're the ones who had that property secured, and they wanted nothing to do with it. So when they left the convoy, I was really sad. I was sticking up flyers, the wanted flyers on the bathrooms for Facci. And have you seen missing? Have you seen Facci flyers, Mr. Doctor? And Chris came up to me and said that they were leaving because they didn't like what was going on. And I didn't really know what was going on. Now I know what's going on. But I was just kind of hanging out, having fun, and talking with all the people, and not knowing the inner workings of what was going on in the People's Convoy. But for me, the U.S. Transportation Alliance is the key to that whole setup there and how that was formed. There was a lot of great people in Missouri, a lot of great people in Oklahoma, Lots of great people in Indiana, in Indianapolis, where we were at Everett's Farm and Equipment. The Ohio one was nice at the gas station. I have an awesome time lapse of that. The People's Convoy coming in. Yes, we are heading to DC. It's going to be, I believe, the 19th and 20th. The 19th and 20th will be at the Tallahassee State Capitol, and I believe there's some rallies on the 30th at all 50 state capitals. 30th, 29th. I could be wrong. It's right there at the end of the month. And I'm not sure if that's going to be. So we're going to go around DC after the Florida Capitol. I think we're going to Raleigh, North Carolina, the capital there. I could be wrong if that's the capital. It's the capital of South Carolina. I don't remember it anymore off the top of my head. Yeah, shot. They're definitely heroes, Steve. Thanks, right. Where's your right? Brenda, I was with the People's Convoy. North. Say north? Say north. Yeah, go south, though. Sorry. There we go. A couple more things besides just end the mandates. On the People's United Convoy.org, the website, running across the bottom, there's a mission statement on there. All the rally points in Florida. It's the same guys that came. So basically, see, the People's Convoy was supposed to be the merging of a bunch of convoys. Convoys from like Sacramento, from San Francisco. There was convoys from Wisconsin that came down I-90, I-94. There was a Freedom Convoy that was started by the dude who stopped the I believe he was a gym guy who stayed open during all the mandate shutoffs. Oh, I must have gone the wrong way. Okay. I think I'm going in circles. And he merged in with the People's Convoy. Now, when the People's Convoy came across into Maryland at Hagerstown, the Florida Convoy, these guys, and the Northeast Convoy was already there. Right? Yeah, I went in circles. Jim Jordan. Yeah, I knew I was going south. I'm an idiot. And so, yeah, back to the Cowboys. So it was my understanding from the beginning that the convoys were going to be working together as an alliance. What the reality was that Marcus, Brian, and Mike Landis and Jerry all were the ones making the decisions for the convoy, nobody else. Now that would have been fine if there was. That was not what it was. I was led to believe. Maybe I was led to believe wrong. Maybe I misinterpreted what it was, but I thought the convoys were merging together. So Soup Mama was part of the Northeast convoy, I believe. And Stitch and Benjamin worked the food there. They were both from the Northeast. I believe Denise, too, was Northeast. I forgot what her YouTube channel is here. They're all Northeast. And these guys doing this convoy were the Florida convoy. And they were concerned about security. They were concerned about what media was in there, which they should have been. Because the security that was there, or the security let in all these AP press, Sandy Bachman, who on Twitter basically got people caged like animals for going to a protest on a certain date in January, around the 5th or the 7th, somewhere in between. And a lot of people who just went to go, even just for a speech, ended up in a cage. And there, Sandy Bachman's running around with like 5 hunchmen, 5 cameramen. And you could look on in my YouTube videos. You could see me asking them questions. They were all kind of dressed in black. Now, people want to say Antifa or any of that. Like, if there was any Antifa there, that was them. I don't like using those terms because it's just, you're grouping a bunch of people have called me Antifa a bunch of times. So, like, I'm far from Antifa. Do I not believe in fascism? Yes, I don't believe in fascism. I don't believe that Walmart and all these other big corporations can force state mandates on people. So am I against fascism in that sense? Absolutely. It all depends on the context of what you're asking. I believe in people's being able to make money and be rich, and that too. But off the point. So the convoy, so those guys were just on top of making sure that the media wasn't in there, and that the food that was all raised by all the volunteers was safe and under lock and key, and that they weren't just giving it away haphazardly because people had donated that food to the convoy, not to other people. And does that matter? It doesn't matter, but it mattered to me. It mattered that money was accountable from the donations, and they had money left over from going home. I think 5 or 6 grand left over that is being used for this convoy now. And just Ross talking about the money and being accountable like that to me makes it's important. Yeah, getting hot. I think I'll be fighting heat here in Florida, so I gotta put the windows down. My phone is so hot, I'm gonna pull the charger off of it. Yes, that's true. You have to you have to have some leaders, but you have to be able to talk to the leaders. And what I didn't like about the People's Convoy was they kicked out a bunch of people and then said they didn't have time to talk about it. They talked about it, said the mainstream media wasn't talking about it, then went on Channel 7 and talked about the people they kicked out, but never gave them an opportunity to talk to them. My phone got hot. I'm going to be battling that here in Florida. I turned off my GPS. I got it unplugged from the battery. Did not have that in Hagerstown. I had the exact opposite. It was too cold, so my batteries were draining fast. All right. My van is decorated, and like I murdered it out, and I changed my lettering. Well, I didn't change. I changed the same message. I redid the lettering, and I got a bunch of laminate sheets. I'm gonna print out a bunch of memes. I have to work. I have to work in Miami for 2 days on Monday, Tuesday, and then Port Lucie for 2 days, and then I'm coming back into the convoy. My boss was like, "Oh, you're in Florida? I just happen to have some jobs here." So, but I needed that. I spent a little more than I thought coming down here. Damn near $600. I blew 2 tires. I blew my front tire, so I got both my front tires, new tires. But it's to be expected, and they were shitty tires. My van burnt up in December, so on the border of Louisiana and Texas. So this is my new van. My friends helped buy it for me. And my other van was lifted, and I did a lot of work to it. Stabilize, stabilize, stabilize. Well, yeah, no, I don't want to do any stone throwing or anything. Like, there's a lot of people in that convoy that were doing really good. So, to me, the People's Convoy was a huge networking event to meet a bunch of people, to actually go into DC. And I've been thinking about tactics, because what would have I done different? And I'm nobody, but the you can't stop commerce, but you want to affect commerce, but you can't stop it. So the goal is to, every time there's an occupying force, there's a force met with it. It has to be almost like a festival where you come in, you set up camp for 2-3 days, and you move on. Now, DC might be important, but I truly believe that what's important, what the convoys should be doing is they should be doing the county seats. The county seats. Think globally, act locally. The county seats are always bustling. Not in all towns, but in a lot of towns, the county seats are bustling. You go to the hardest hitting counties with the mandates because they're all being forced at the local level. The judges and the local sheriffs are the ones carrying out these mandates. They're the ones who are going to arrest you. And so my belief is that the convoys need to converge on these county seats and just set up shop. Just encircle that county building peacefully, set up shop like a carnival or like a fair, set up some bouncy houses, send out waves of people with microphones through the neighborhoods to come and have some fun. There has to be fun. No one likes a real preachy. People who play together stay together. Like, it's got to be fun. The kids got to come out. That's what the Canadian protests were very successful at, was creating a fun atmosphere. And that's what needs to be replicated. An occupation in D.C., I don't know if that's a solution. Occupations at local county things, I would put my money towards that more than. Yeah, you could move, but like, I've been doing this for years. I have a bunch of pins on Google Maps, and when I travel somewhere, I hit those pins. I don't have a very set schedule, but it's like tentative. I know where I'm going. I just don't, because of weather and all sorts of situations. Sometimes events happen on the weekend, so you got to kind of be liquid, I guess. So in order to do an occupation and then move and to do another occupation, they're like semi-occupation. It's like almost semi-nomadic. The convoy strength is in in traveling, but it's expensive to travel. It takes a lot of gas money to do that, and you have to have a lot of support. Yeah, and I know there's shady characters, and you have to be vigilant of them. You have to respect people's freedoms. I believe you have to give people a chance to speak. If you throw somebody out, they should at least have a chance to speak. And I'm not speaking on behalf, again, I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody in the convoy. I believe in them, and I'll do what, if there's certain things that don't want to be filmed or things they don't want live, I'm going to respect that and do what their wishes are. Yeah, but the porta potties, I hate porta potties. They're the nastiest things in the world. They were so clean at the People's Convoy, so clean. You just don't see that anywhere. The nice, clean porta potties, and the guys who were renting them, who were cleaning them, it was just amazing how clean the porta potties were. But a successful convoy needs those bathrooms to come along with them. That's the key. And I almost believe that there needs to be a whole trailer of bathrooms, a successful one, and a separate water trailer for the crap, so that it's a two-piece system. The bathroom pulls in. There's a toilet thing, and unfortunately, that's is a nasty part of it. But for a successful convoy, that's what needs to be done. To have your bathrooms, so that don't ever say you're urinating or going to the bathroom out in public. You need a mechanic. You need a mechanic at the back with tools, air, a welder. And I'm not saying, I'm just speaking in generalities here. Like, that's how you make a convoy successful. I've been wanting to do this thing called the Rewilding Tour, which is basically a moving Airbnb with like turn down service, nice dinners up along the rivers, but you move as a convoy, move as a group. I was thinking more of a gypsy caravan than a convoy, but I like the convoy. Convoy is not so dirty. There's a lot of a lot of guys that were very proper in terms of very clean, very organized, kind of the hallmarks of military service or ex-military or current military. And that kind of wore off on me when I was at the People's Convoy. The cleanliness of the bathrooms, the cleanliness of the trucks, of the grounds, very well kept. Yeah, Charlene. Tom was the head mechanic. Tom doesn't like me, but Tom did like me. But I expressed opinions different than the management, so Tom doesn't like me anymore. But yes, they have the head mechanic, and there's a lot of money supporting the People's Convoy, and they had no matter what you hear, they had the media helping them too. Fox, Breitbart, Newsweek, Fox, Breitbart, Newsweek, CDL.org, FreightWaves.com. Those all help promote the People's Convoy. And that's how the People's Convoy got really big. And if you look in February, you'll see that they made a few announcements of other convoys trying to claim the People's Convoy. And they made sure on Fox that they were not associated with the other convoys. And that was because they were the main convoy. Yeah, and people came out. People came out in Oklahoma. People came out in Missouri. People came out in Indiana. Every overpass from Oklahoma to the border of Texas, Oklahoma to DC was filled with people. Absolutely amazing sight to see. People driving 8 hours from the north or the south, waiting hours and hours and hours in the cold for the convoy just to pass by, just to wave a flag. And that had an effect on me. That's why I'm coming to this convoy. I believe in the people, that most people are good people. They want good intention. They have good intentions. And I believe a lot of people have been led astray. And yeah, there's just those overpasses were just amazing. To experience that, I can't put words in it. And I kind of lost. I was on such a freedom high almost. I was like freedom drunk with so many people coming out and um, just being supportive. I remember the state trooper saluting us, like a salute I've never seen before. I had a lot of pride, and I've been in a lot of protests where the police were the enemy. And what was different about these convoys are the police are on the convoy side. And that's really cool to see. And the convoy guys are very pro police. So I found myself halfway through the convoy saluting police after years of not hating them, but maybe focusing more on the bad cops and not a lot of the good cops. And just from my own personal experiences. And but I found myself saluting the police. When I left, I had a conservation police officer honking and waving frantically about an hour outside of Chicago. And I was like, okay, I'm back on the convoy again. I'm far from the convoy, but I already get that excitement, and the people who honk and give the thumbs up. That's what like motivates you. And there was so many. When I sat to overpass in Oklahoma, I was amazed at the amount of trucks that were not part of the convoy that were honking. I don't know if I would say a third or 2/3. We've done this. Yeah, I did watch that video with Trucker G, and Mike basically said that they want nothing to do with Soup Kitchen. When he mentioned Amazon wish list, that was a Soup Mama's wish list for the soup kitchen. So they wanted nothing to do with them. They didn't say. See, they're very good at talking in very general terms. They supported the soup Nazi, the soup kitchen, soup mama. They supported her. She did a video with Brian that kind of got her, already promoting. She was there working behind the lines, cooking food. They tried to say that she needed a permit. So one of the administrators tried to say that she needed a permit. Something crazy. And but when Trucker G and Mike went on, Mike said, I don't want any, that they have nothing to do with the people in Hagerstown, because it's not about the people. It's about the U.S. Transportation Alliance and their convoy. So I'm not digging on it. Keep doing what they're doing. I didn't like that there was a watered down message, and now there's 10 messages. So I got what I wished for. There's 10 bills that they're after now instead of one real just general a watered down issue. And my views are not the views of any convoys. They're just my own independent views. Just like I make all my decisions in life are independent of political parties, independent of the local, the new talking points of the week. I was caged for contemptuous behavior, and I focus heavily on freedom, and that's it. Is this a little flag guy? Freedom is what's important to me, because I had that taken away, and I know that freedom is super important, and that I don't need politics or anything to talk freedom. I got my Constitution. I know the Constitution, and that's it. That covers everything. Covers everyone's beliefs. It's all encompassing. It even falls into the religious side of things too. Yes, that he did say that. Shelly, Mike did that. I didn't say that he absolutely did say that. But it was what he also said that he implied that, because Soup Mama is the one with the Amazon wish list for the soup kitchen, and he specifically said something about the Amazon soup kitchen, or excuse me, the Amazon wish list. So it was that the words that he didn't say where he implied it. He said two different things. It's very political. Very political. Oh, we got some flags. I'm saying that the People's Convoy was formed by the U.S. Transportation Alliance. That's what I'm saying. You could conjure up what my opinion is based on that, but it is to me a fact that the U.S. Transportation Alliance, which was founded by Marcus, Brian, and Mike, they're the ones who run the 10-4 Freedom Rally in D.C. last year. But what I'm saying is that they are that it was not a grassroots. They just started talking to some groups, and then it just haphazardly happened that Mike and Brian were together, and then Marcus was planning a convoy, and then they both talked, and then they're like, "Oh, let's do a convoy." No, that's not reality. I don't call it bullshit when I know bullshit. That's bullshit. So the reality is that they, the U.S. Transportation Alliance, formed the convoy. The vast 93, 94, maybe 95% of the people of the convoy are good, God-fearing, loving Americans. It just takes it's at 5%. Every good tyrant controls the opposition. There's a lot of things I would have done differently if I was in charge, but I wasn't in charge. I'm just some gypsy who just kind of tagged along and asked a bunch of questions. Well, and the biggest thing about the People's Convoy is who's handling the money. The AFCLF is handling the money, the Americans for Freedoms and Civil Liberties Fund. It's a private 503c. Christopher Maston is the president of that organization. Pamela Melick is the secretary. She's in charge of the money for the convoy, which I feel like the convoy raised more than $2 million. The Freedom Convoy in Florida on GoFundMe raised almost 10 mil. Then in a week, and then in a week, the Friends, Let's Go Friends or Friends Get Go, whatever that money thing, they raised another 8 mil. In 2 weeks, they raised $18 million. And I find it odd that after 45 days that they only raised like 2 million. It's just odd. But Pamela Melick, she's charged with two cases of money fraud. I don't want to say fraud, money laundering. She basically used like was it 20 grand, 15 grand from an elderly person's bank account, and another charge, she used some old lady's credit card for a Social Security scam. No, use an old lady's Social Security number to get a PayPal credit card, and she pled guilty, but they withheld adjudication, which basically means that the charges will disappear once you complete your term. Now, she didn't complete, or whenever you complete the orders of the court. Well, not only did she not complete the orders of the court, she violated the orders of the court and has an active warrant for her arrest in Texas. So, and when Christopher Maston was first asked about it on the Daily Beast, I don't like the Daily Beast. I don't like any mainstream media, but you have to get articles from somewhere. He said that you have the wrong Pamela, buddy. And then later, by text message or phone call, he stated that Pamela, it's come to the firm's attention that they know about Pamela's situation, and that Pamela, that it requires, it fulfills her roles of the firm, or something along those. I don't know the exact verbiage. Basically said that she could, that it's fine that she's in charge of the money. But I definitely don't think she should be in charge of the money. Not someone with money charges. Maybe some other criminal charges, but not money criminal charges. That's like, okay, sketchy. Then they're paying a percentage to this Christopher and to Pamela for using the People's Convoy. They also had some real nice, comfy, super expensive coach buses that were with the convoy. That questions were raised about the cost of those. Instead of addressing them and sitting down and talking with the people who were addressing those questions, they got kicked out of the convoy, and stories and lies were told about them. And I asked questions about those people who were kicked out to Sterling, the head of security there, alleged head of security, and to What You See Is What You Get, Chris. And none of them brought that to anyone's attention. It wasn't important. It was not anything to be addressed. And so am I talking shit about the convoy? I don't know. I'm just telling you what my personal experience is with that People's Convoy and some of the main press there. I was messaging with What You See Is What You Get. I kind of like the guy, but I don't like him anymore. And I think he's got my father's vintage van life patch, little fucker. So I got a $50 reward for my patch if that thing shows up that I had at the People's Convoy. That was my father's van life club patch. But What You See Is What You Get has had my stand, or knows a person who has my stand, and I did a little hit piece on him. And you could call it a hit piece, or you just call it someone just having full accountability. And you have to know the media. You have to know what they're selling, because don't think for a minute that they don't have something to sell. And what they're selling is a narrative. So you have to know the narrative. And What You See Is What You Get is a Hollywood dolly grip. He was on shows Grey's Anatomy, Spider-Man, all sorts of different clicks. So he's a Convoy's head cameraman. Okay, I got questions. He was a nice guy. He was a cool guy to me. I'm not talking smack, Kyle, on Chris. I actually liked him. He was nice. But I thought him not responding to why Ross had been kicked out, and the concerns that Ross had about $20,000 a day being spent on Allied security, and it only being for protecting the main people. That was my concern. So I'm talking smack because he knows the person who has my stand. He sent a picture of it saying that he found my stand. So is that talking smack? No, I just want my patch back. I got $50 reward for that patch. If I can't find it, I'll go higher. I don't have a lot of money, but I would love to have that patch back. I don't really have any materialistic things. And I mean, is talking about what someone did for a living that big of a deal? Like, all I said was that he works for Hollywood. Now, I did make a Jeffrey Epstein little meme, little joke in there. Do I think that he went to Jeffrey Epstein? No. That was a general poke at Hollywood itself. Chris seemed like a nice guy. He really did. I do think he's selling a narrative, though. And it's that whole left-right narrative is what he's selling. Same with Oreo. Oreo answered my question. Julius, those guys seem nice, but like my problem with Oreo was that when the dude who got arrested for the gun, he stated he was a libertarian. And if there's any political party that I align with, it would probably be libertarian. I want a voluntary system, right? I know how far from reality that is, but one could believe in that. And when Oreo Express kept calling him Antifa or the left, when dude was clearly saying that he was a libertarian, like there's other parties other than left and right. There's the constitutional parties. There's the Green Party. There's there's all sorts of different parties. To not be able to think outside of the left-right paradigm, that's half the reason why we're in this mess right now. And fighting over that, and when they were up and they came back to speak at the People's Convoy because they didn't have an opportunity to speak. They weren't given time to speak to the leaders. they weren't given any of that. They were just booted and then made fun of at the streamers live. And then they were made fun of on Fox, not made fun of, but called shady characters on channel, I think it was 9, channel 7, that Brian went on after the streamers meeting, said all that. And the dude had a loaded gun. Okay, like, don't we have a right to arms? Like, is that what the Freedom Convoy is somewhat supposed to be about? I know I met a lot of gun-toting Americans in Missouri and Oklahoma, open carrying, and so all of a sudden this guy became a criminal in Oreos, and what you see is what you get. No, that's bullshit, man. Is that talking shit about them? It's talking shit about that idea, okay? And people can have different ideas, different opinions. That's what makes this America great. And owning arms is what America is about. It protects all the other amendments. I actually think that the Sixth Amendment protects more than the Second Amendment, but they both protect equally. And so them, Oreo, and what you see is what you get, Chris. Them talking shit about that libertarian, trying to say, now that was Oreo with the whole, oh, you're Antifa. I can't think of anything else but just to say that over and over again. You're a lefty. You're a radical left. It was just like Tom. He called me a boogaloo and Antifa, which totally opposite sides of the spectrum. Totally opposite. You can't have both, man. You're either far left or far right. You can't be both. It just and in order to find out, you have to sit and have conversations with people. So Chris, having beers with him, I probably wouldn't have any issue. I had numerous conversations with Chris. But again, I'm my own self. I'm my own media. I'm my own crazy, gypsy, whatever you want to call me, whatever title you want to assign to me. But I'm just going with what I believe is the most effective and who the best people to be with is. They go and do their convoy, keep the convoy alive out there. That's great. Hopefully people in that convoy, if they want a possible different convoy, or if they want to form alliances with other convoys at the state levels, I think that's great. I think that's great that the Florida convoy wants to break it into states, and it should be broken by states. Should the People's Convoy be in charge of those states? That's where I err on saying no, and that the convoy should be by the states, just like our country's set up by different states, and what's important to your state is different than other states. But you could come together just like the United States and form national convoys and have alliances and roundtables. And that's what I like about these guys, because that's what they said. They said that they expected it to be roundtable discussions, and that's why they left. And that's why I'm with them now, because I believe in more of a roundtable type of organization than. But even with the roundtable, they are organized and have leaders at the local level, the local state level. So, whatever that means. Ricky, okay. Am I associated with Brandon Johnson and Ricky Bobby? No, I've never even met Ricky Bobby or Brandon Johnson. I did see the video of him on the bus, which I just talked about. And Ricky Bobby is an anarchist, which I'm not an anarchist. And I believe Brandon Johnson is the libertarian dude who got hit with the gun. Again, never met them. I'm not a libertarian or an anarchist. So, but I'm smart enough to know what anarchists and libertarians believe in. And just like Trump people and the left. I believe in a lot of things of the right. I believe in a few things of the left. I believe in a lot of things of the Libertarian Party. I went to dinner with Michael Badnarik almost 10 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, in Hammond, Indiana. He ran against Bush and Gore when they had that runoff in Florida here. And he was arrested in the parking lot during the debates because he had no license for a gun or a driver's license. And after my court case, or before my court case, before my jury trial for cultivation, my friend I met online almost 10 years ago, Hoplite introduced, he knew Michael Badnarik from some protests in Austin, some gun protests, and somehow got his ear. And so he got Michael Badnarik to come and talk to me before my cultivation jury trial. And we went out to dinner. I treated him to pizza in Hammond, Indiana. We picked him up from his parents' house. And he was just like one of the boys. We went, the waitress walked by, he turned around, checked out her butt. I was all nervous to meet him until that. Once he turned around, looked at that waitress's butt, I was like, oh, he's just like every other guy. And I thought he was going to give me some magic answer to beat my court case. I didn't realize I had to go to jail for a bunch of time and become an FBI's most wanted to learn. But at the time, I believed that there was some type of golden piece of paper, golden piece of knowledge, and not an outright way of carrying yourself. And but his biggest thing was he was a skydive instructor, and he taught people how to jump out of the plane. And it was really the first step, jumping out of the plane, that was the most important. And that's what most people fail if they don't jump, is to take that first step. And it's that first step that it's the first step that is the most important. So he said that once you step out, you'll eventually hit the ground. You might not hit the ground the way you want, but you'll hit it. And that was some very good advice. And the next day I was in a cage. I stepped off the plane. I didn't know when I was going to hit the ground, but it took 118 days to get out of that cage. But I fought tooth and nail, and I studied that Constitution in and out every day. And then I became a jailhouse lawyer, and I started helping people, charging ramen noodles. And I had a little get up. I had freedom. So that's what I know is freedom. So am I associated with Ricky Bobby? Never even met him. He's commented on my YouTube page. That's it. Once. And I tried to meet him. I tried to arrange a phone call with him. I still have to talk to one of the streamers that got kicked out. Inside Four Walls is his channel. I can't remember his name off the top. I have it. Robert, I think, maybe. I can't remember. But he got kicked out with Brandon Johnson and Ricky Bobby. And then it was him, too, because he was staying in Ricky Bobby's bus. And so, yeah, I wanted to talk to him because that's how you win. That's how you win a republic. You don't just, you're an Antifa, you're a Boogaloo, you're associated with those people, so we can't talk to you. Hate to break it to you, but like, you're not going to find anyone with all the same views as you. It's impossible. You might find 90%, or there might be 5 or 6 views that you guys have the same views on, but outside of that, that's where a lot of those alignments or those groups kind of fail. Like ideology, there's a lot of assumptions in that grouping of people into groups. And yeah, so yeah, I went to dinner with a man who ran for president on the Libertarian Party. Am I libertarian? Like the IAN at the suffix of a word designates an agency in the law. So American, Mexican, it's a person, a legal person. That's a whole nother like conversation. That's a whole conversation on law. And I know law. That's what I'm gonna try. My streams kind of push some law, some knowledge of the law, because that's where all the protesters, whether Black Lives Matter or Stop the Steal or whatever group or protest you want, they're all going through the court systems. They're all dealing with the bar association. And so being able to handle your own estate, handle the law, or at least know enough to be able to tell somebody what you want. And yeah, so I'm going to do my best to not just be a channel drama and just small talk. You can go to Sasnatch. If you want small talk, Sasnatch is the way to go. You know, it's great quality small talk. And nothing against small talk, but I like small talk here and there. But I really just dread small talk. I don't care about the weather. I want to talk about like some shit that matters. What's going on? Get a thumbs up from the Hamlin's man. I don't know if I caught that. Oh, and I never got kicked out. That's a great thing. I left on my own. I didn't feel safe. So I didn't get kicked out. I got trespassed by security, but Ross was still head of security when I got kicked out, who's the president of this convoy, and X-Ray. No, was it X-Ray? I think it was X-Ray who came up. Ross and X-Ray. And they got me back onto the property at Hagerstown. So yes, that is true. I did get kicked out. I was asking Channel 1, an NPR affiliate, that sold the January 6th BS question. And yeah, so Channel 1, the drone pilot for Channel 1, like got all up in my face, could do a little triggered cupcake, and Allied security thought that I was intimidating them. But you could see on the video that that's not the case, that he kept stepping up on me. And I have that on TikTok under Defender Vance. I have it on YouTube. I have it on Instagram. I have it on Gab. I have it on Twitter. I have it on all the platforms. So you go and look and see that guy coming at me, and you could hear them trespass me at the end of that video. That was a German Channel 1 drone pilot. His associate was this chick, Alice, I think. No, it's not Alice. It was something else. Anna. She did not like me asking her if Canadian truckers are heroes or terrorists, and she ran for me, but they were together. So yes, I did technically get trespassed for about, I waited for the convoy to leave. Then I called my buddy Bob, the handyman, who was with the convoy since California, and I met in Oklahoma, and I went and got propane with him because he said he needed a favor, so I drove him to get propane, and he's why I have a CB radio in my car right now and an antenna, and so I called Bob, and Bob called them, and him and Ross came up, and I had chili with Ross the night before because I showed him videos of Rat Rod threatening to rob the convoy, and because I knew that Ross and Chris were on guard, that they were there to protect people that were there, and so Ross let me back in, and that's why I'm here right now. So yeah, you don't like me having questions about the other people or letting people have different opinions, and go find another stream. I'm totally cool with that. My stream's not about money. It's not about, it's funded by me and my friends from Facebook. And I had great friends who let me do a bunch of investigations into the U.S. Transportation Alliance on a farm in southern Ohio. Jeff and Karen, they were amazing souls, and they cooked and slaughtered all their own food on the farm, and they fed me for almost a week there, and they would not let me leave until I finished investigating the U.S. Transportation Alliance. And so I'm very grateful for them and their support. And I hadn't met him yet, but I met him at an overpass in Ohio. And then when I left the People's Convoy, I went over to their farm and did a bunch of research because I didn't have time to do any research when I was with the convoy because I was filming it. So that's just some little backstory of why I'm here, what I'm trying to do. I'm going to do my best to not swear, but I do talk about adult topics, and I'm not going to censor anybody from swearing. And I can't read the comments and safely drive, so if I had a team here, that might be possible. I'm just some gypsy trying to stay out of trouble. And I hope Fritz comes out here. He's a good guy. He got mad at the People's Convoy. Because they were saying that they didn't want any help finding places. What do you mean you don't want help finding places? Yeah. So you know what? I'm with the convoy that's going to do something that I believe is going to do something, or at least the people involved with the convoy are going to have a say in it. There's going to be a little discussion. It's not just going to be like, oh, I got a headache, I don't really want to talk about it, as Mike said. I'll try to stay out of all that drama once I'm with the convoy. I just wanted people to know. I had a lot of haters when I left the People's Convoy, and that's fine. I understand. I seem to either have lots of haters and lots of people who really like me. So pick which side you like, because I'm not. I can be annoying as hell sometimes. As my friend Kelly says, I'm like a dog with a rabbit. He's not gonna let go. But I'm also not a person I love permaculture and like gardening and stuff. And in permaculture, the problem is the solution. So there was a bunch of problems with the convoy. So the solution is this convoy, for me at least. For other people, might be something else. These guys are solving the problems that I saw, and that's why I'm with them. I'm not even there yet, but I'm with them already. I should be there soon. Next couple hours. And I don't know if that Kyle was a furry Kyle that I met in Indiana. I guess I'll stop and look eventually. But no, I really like Kyle. I like you. I did an interview with you, and we got that picture of us all in our furs. And I heard that you're kind of calling some of the shots there at Hagerstown when you were there. Um, so hopefully that wasn't that Kyle. I like Kyle. All right, let's see. I'm not talking whatever. Shelly, whatever he gets chats. That's what content creators get on Facebook or on YouTube. That's how I believe like the government should be run. If people like your content, they give you money. That's 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 just how it is. That's every good content creator, welders, artists, you name it. They're funded by people who are interested in their content. And that's really all it is. Sasnak's got great small talk content. He is a master at small talk. You won't learn anything from him besides small talk things. People like small talk. That's why his channel is so successful. More power to him. Unfortunately, small talk is not what we need right now with what's going on. Small talk has gotten people into closing off playgrounds and caution taping swings and basketball hoops because of some crazy made up science about some distance or some. It's all moving goalpost science. You never have a scientific experiment to base those opinions on, and that's what small talk got us. We have to move away from small talk, and we have to talk about some things that actually matter. One of the big things is there's a few big things. People have to start learning law and representing themselves, or better yet, presenting themselves in court, and handling it without the law society. I'm friends with a lot of lawyers, but the answer is not lawyers. The answer is getting our knowledge of the law back into the hands of the people. That's one of our issues. Another issue is permaculture. This country needs a heavy dose of permaculture. And what is permaculture? Permaculture is multicultures moving away from monocrops. Basically, growing your own food, making your own fertilizers locally at a local level so that if some war is made up or they start or whatever the story might be, the narrative, in some foreign country, that you don't have to worry about it. It's alternative energies, and electric is not. It's learning about biochar and gasifiers and the creation of fuel from wood. It's learning about slow wick systems, slow sand filters, and ram pumps, and all these alternative green energies. That's the way away from big government control. Is that a political party? I don't know. You might associate it with some political party. People have to be held accountable. If someone said that a playground is a bioweapon and that's not true, something has to be done about that. The playgrounds are open now. Somebody lied about playgrounds. I was pretty pissed about the playgrounds. I'm like a big kid. Those children need to be able to play in the effing playgrounds. Swings are not bioweapons. Any idiot who said that should be fired instantly. Fired. And publicly shamed for closing a playground down. It's insane. It's insane. And then I don't know if it was a mass conspiracy with 3M, but plexiglass, where the plexiglass is a medical instrument. No rhyme or reason to the plexiglass. Some plexiglass hangs. Some are very small. They have holes in the middle. Some have multiple layers of plexiglass. Some have side plexiglass. The airport is just a kind of a small plexiglass. But plexiglass became this huge medical instrument? All right. Oh, yeah. I get all over the place. Sally, thank you for Shelly. Yeah. Sassenach is small talk. So go to a Sassenach, get all the small talk you want. You'll learn about lots of things that are really not important with what the convoy really should, discussions with the convoy really should be about. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, but, you know, nice guys pave the way to hell. I'm not really a nice guy. You can talk shit to me and also go and have beers with you at the bar because I'm not a fruitcake. I'm okay with people talking shit. When people talk shit about me, I improve on what they're talking shit about. It's how it works. It's what men do, and women. So I'm ranting because there's really nothing. I'm driving. It's all the same here in Florida. But thank you for the comments, Shelly. You obviously don't understand anything. You might maybe not me and not speaking English. No habla español. No habla inglés. I like people getting triggered though. Kind of like fun. You seems to have an issue with everyone. Who gives? Obviously, no one really cares what I'm talking about, Shelly. But thank you for your all capitalized comments. I will sleep very good tonight. Not offended at all. And there's a lot of issues that need to be talked about. But I believe permaculture is one aspect of the food shortages. That solves that issue. And it also solves some of the gas issues. That's why I think permaculture is important. Some people think that it's just that some person's going to get into the office and going to make the world better. That's your belief. That's not my belief. Some people believe that the leaders of the People's Convoy are the most amazing people in the world and graced by God, and that they're saints. That's also not my opinion. That's not my belief. But if that's your belief, I mean, I believed in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny at some time. And if someone told me that when I was little, that would have devastated my world. And sometimes people's worlds don't want it devastated. And I'm not trying to speak some type of iconoclastic idea that destroys your reality. I'm not trying to do it because it's a nasty little process. I'm just trying to give a little content that is not all small talky. That's what Sassenach is there for. Mike Landis is pretty good at that too. I just live in my van, so what could I possibly know? What could I possibly know? I know freedom. That's what I know. I know freedom, and I know how I have a good time. It's cool. Freedom, having freedom is an ability to have a good time. That's if it was my convoy, if I was running a convoy, if I had all the funds, I'd be circling the county seats, having fairs with a Ferris wheel and a bouncy house. That's how it's done. You bring joy and happiness and Americana to the counties. And I didn't see the value of Americana as much as I did when I went on the People's Convoy. And the value of the flag as a symbol of freedom for so many people. And the colors red, white, and blue as something that represents the 4th of July, that represents freedom and standing up for your belief to do what you want for your body, to do what you want for your kids. I hit a lot of rumble strips. I don't know why. I do not like the states with rumble strips on the lines. Definitely not the best driver in the world. I'm a very slow driver too. So the convoy is perfect for me. The comment section there is there to just hate on people or to love people, whichever route you choose to do. A great place for networking. And hopefully someone puts in a random conspiracy once in a while. Because, hey, why not? Don't you dare have a libertarian view. Those libertarians, they're the killer left. Oh, my God. Don't tell anyone I had to do a U-turn. God damn it. My phone cannot take the heat and the GPS on at the same time. And I thought it was still with me, but it wasn't. Shelly, I love you, man. I don't know why you hate me. Yes, I know. I talk a lot. Sometimes I don't talk at all. But I still love you. That was something my friends were hating on me about, was I kept saying I love you, I love you, I love you. So I'm not going to beat that one to death this time. I'm improving. on criticism of my friends. But I do love you. I've criticized a lot of people that I didn't understand. I kind of have to talk because it's either that or like my other streams where I'm not talking at all. Kind of got to get some of that aired out because there's going to be all sorts of haters left over from the People's Convoy who didn't understand why I left or had all the story to it. So I have to clear that air so that we could get past that and actually start moving on to things that actually matter. I am going to talk shit. I'm going to talk shit about my friends. That's what I do with my friends. You can't get shit talked to, then that I'm not the place to be. I like talking shit. It's fun. There's that phrase: "Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me." It's a very good thing to live by. But you have a different perspective, and I respect that. You have a different belief. I respect that. It could be considered rambling. It is kind of rambling. I'm kind of rambling to myself. I want to talk about I want to have a show where it's just convoy tactics. What is the most effective form of protest with the convoy? Again, I'm going with the counties. You have to get some of the hot rodders or the muscle car guys in on it, or at least collab with them like a good content creator would on YouTube. They collab with people of like minds. Start collabing with motorcycle clubs and groups. And they don't have to be with the convoy the whole time, but if you're collabing on certain legs, certain sections, you get the hot rods, you get the trucks, all that, you start having, it becomes like a parade, becomes a fun time. The guys want to come out and see the cars. They want to see the hot rods. They want to see the muscles. The guys want to see the motorcycles that screams like alpha male. Like that screams alpha. That screams Americana. The convoy needs to have what they need to survive. The convoy needs to be semi-permanent. Maybe a few permanent headquarters and properties where they could go depending on the seasons. Preferably south during the winter. And you don't have to own the properties. You just have properties that you could go to. I know there's a lot of property owners that would love to help out and to have a bunch of people come. There's a lot of them. I know a few property owners. Kyle, I watched his stream last night and the night before, just because I like to just be aware of what people are saying and what's going on. And I got a question for him, and we'll see. I haven't even shook his hand yet or anything or anything. They seem like they have good intentions. He reminds me of they remind me of I worked in the restaurant business for a long time, and I worked in the restaurant in Daytona Beach, Florida, for 3 years. Worked in Bennigan's, Ruby Tuesdays, and Caribbean Jacks. But They remind me of the people in the restaurants, like in a good way. Like I was in the restaurant. Like they just have that Florida hillbilly gangster, little hillbilly. Because Florida's that way. It's like little gangster, little hillbilly. It's not like Missouri hillbilly. It's like Florida gangster hillbilly. It's a different breed of Floridians. So that's my first impression. My first impression is wrong about a lot of people, but they seem nice. They're just starting, and so I'll give them some little hints if they like. This StreamYard is shit. That's what they need to learn about StreamYard. And I learned that from Fritz at the People's Convoy. And I've streamed before. I streamed my court case almost 9 years ago. So streaming is just something I never did too much of it personally, but I know it. I follow people who've been streaming, and so I know streaming just from following. A lot of auditors, First Amendment auditors, Second Amendment auditors. I follow a lot of them. I followed a lot of the Occupy streamers 10 years ago. I was following Luke Radowski and Timmy Pool 10 years ago. They were in Occupy. Oh, Hannah, I knew it was you. I mean, I hadn't seen you forever on which way it was supposed to go. I think right. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you knew that or not, but yeah, no, I did know that was you. I remember you from Facebook, but you kind of fell off for a long time, so I haven't seen you around on Facebook at all. Yeah, no, that's Defender Rants is me. Long-term activist. I forget where you were at, Hannah. Were you in Florida or Indiana? You moved? I can't remember. Shelly, what am I wrong about? Tell me. I'm sorry. I'm driving. I can't really read comments. Ask the question again. I'll try to answer it. I'm a very honest person. Like, I'm a little rough to listen to. I'm wrong all the time. That's what makes me so smart, is because I know I'm wrong all the time. I'm somewhere in Florida, I think about an hour and a half from the final destination of the Florida United Convoy today, which I believe they're rolling in there at 4 or 3. So it's noon, and I think I'm about an hour and a half, maybe hour and 45 minutes from the final location. Actually, you gotta look. Yeah, an hour and 45 minutes away. Shelly, I have no issue with what Sasnock is talking about. Okay? I don't like the content because I think there's so many more important things than talking about small talk right now. He has a platform to talk about serious matters of why we're in the situation we're in here, and he chose to go with small talk. That is fine. If you want to go with small talk, his channel is great. It is very child friendly. If I had a child, I'd probably want him watching Sasnak. I would not want him watching my channel. But for the adults, the people who really want to change things, we need to talk about serious issues. Because if we don't talk about serious issues and pretend everything's all hunky dory and like it's super watered down, we're not going to get anything changed. So we have to change. Hurts. It hurts to hear change. It hurts to hear that you're wrong or that your method is not the best way. It hurts to hear that. But unfortunately, you have to hear it in order to change and be better. And so I'm going to focus on trying to change that and not be talking about all this effing drama of all these other people. But I do have to talk about it a little bit here. And then hopefully people in the comments section could just talk about it amongst themselves and let them know about what I feel about it. So we could talk about things of how the convoy could be better and where that convoy needs to be focused on and what tactics that convoy should be using to affect change. That was an alligator right there. That was cool. So that's my issue to Sasnak. All he talks about is small talk. That's it. That's why he's got 120, 130,000 subscribers. It's small talk. It's great right now. It's great. The school grounds get closed down. Plexiglass goes up. And the topic of conversation is an emergency great. With these guys are serious. Want to change, want their voices to be heard. I don't know how exactly, but I have a lot more faith in that guy. At least other leaders. I did. I fought a cultivation case for 38 months. So I grew indoors for a long time, but now I was focused on a monocrop marijuana farm, and now I'm focused on polyculture, food forests. Not against growing weed, but weed is just one of 1,000 other herbs that can be grown that has just as great value or greater or lesser medicinal value than marijuana. So that's my view on that. I am for the legalization of all drugs, though. I'm basically for the legalization of any crime that does not have a victim, because I believe in the Constitution and your right to face your accuser. And so, with that being said, I can't support any drug laws because the state is the victim. And I think that we could build a trust back with the police if we eliminate them arresting people for victimless crimes. And if I can't face my accuser in court, that's what I'm interested in with the jury trial and my right to face my accuser. To face your accuser is everything. We get back support with the police when we eliminate those crimes. Yeah, I know a lot of the indoor guard. I still got my lights. I know a lot of different styles of indoor growing, deep water culture, ebb and flow systems, um, your basic flood and drain. Um, I've been getting into some more growing indoors, where they have more plants instead of having sterile conditions like a lot of the pot farms, many of the monocrops, having a bunch of different algae and duckweed and stuff to filter the waters. Just a more diverse population of bugs and microbial fungi, bacteria that help with the nitrate process, nitrification process that happens in like aquaponic setups. You're in Michigan, Anna. Okay. Hey, Sunkiss. Oh, thanks for the love and the comment. I have 25 viewers because I have a very small channel. Uh, yeah. Loose lips do sink ships. I agree with that. I think some people, other people are what makes America great. And I appreciate your hatred towards me and unsubscribing. Please unsubscribe. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I will try not to lose any sleep about it tonight. I time travel at night, so I don't think I'll have that much issue of some random person on the internet never seen my stuff, because you'll be one of millions of people who never see my stuff. Uh, and I appreciate the trash talk, as you trash talk me, trash talking other people. A lot of drama is good for people. I mean, the best stories are ones filled with drama. I always say that when I'm in a drama-packed experience, knowing that, oh man, the story's gonna be so great. We can sit around the campfire and tell this story, and people are not gonna believe it. So, yeah. We have names for people like you two, Karens. I'm from Southeast Ohio, and they're in Athens. Moved to Indiana and got arrested for pot. They moved to Michigan, and a girl said we. Well, Hannah, that's probably some of the reasons why I'm friends with you on Facebook. And that's why I love growers. Thank you for growing medicine and doing it even though the laws say that you can't do it. That's why you're my friend, because heroes break unjust laws, and you're a hero because you broke that unjust law. Yeah, Ohio, Indiana, it's kind of the same state. I mix them up. Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, traveled through all three. They all have the same feels. Oh, nice. Yeah, my friends are growing. They got frickers. They bought a helicopter. There's how successful they're doing. I love Kentucky too. Last summer we did Kentucky. We went to a Billy Strings concert in Lexington. I did work in Lexington twice for work. Very horsey there. Did a bunch of waterfalls. Did some caves. We went up on the water, drank moonshine, listened to Billy Strings and Sarah Farrell, and had a good old time out there for a good week. Stayed on the water every night. Just beautiful. We did Tennessee too. We did Kentucky and then Tennessee. the dive bars in between. I'm a destination drinker. I like to drink at places, events, social. I don't really drink much by myself. I'm all into like permaculture and growing outdoors now. I actually have my own little style of growing. I like growing on hugelkultur mounds, which is an old German technique of growing. It's basically raised planters. They're raised beds, but they're when you have enough space, you start getting the right biomes and the bacteria and the right fungi. You create a more sustainable crop that you could retain water. You fill the insides with branches and peat moss and leaves and yard waste, and that becomes a composting slash tea slash sponge for water. Water. I'm trying to think of that word. Water absorption. Percolation. You get a percolation test. The hugelkultur mountains will increase the time it takes for the water to percolate through the soil. Therefore, saving the water, creating less work. So I'm more of a perennial. I like perennial forests. They're a little less work than annual crops. That wheat is an annual crop. A clone manufacturer. Cool. I have a couple breeder friends. The cloning, having your mothers, and oh my gosh, that's like it's such a responsibility to have those mothers and to take care of them and to take the babies and have the babies start brooding. That's a process that not a lot of people appreciate, but I'll tell you what, I appreciate that process. It's especially for someone who doesn't have kids. That's like those little babies become your little kitties. I know I've been to a lot of different grow rooms, and they're babies. They're considered their babies. Shelly, I think you're a Karen. I don't know, but Shelly, you feel like a Karen. I still love you. I like hate. I like people talking shit. It gives you content. So thank you for your contribution to my page and helping me grow from 25 viewers to 27. That's what it's about. Back to 25. Stick around. The more hours, the better. The more comments, the better. Give the channel a dislike. You can't see those dislikes anymore, so your opinion does not matter if you dislike my channel because YouTube censored that. But that's great. I don't even get to know how many haters I have. Just the people who like me or who just stand me enough to stick around. Either way, it's fine. I'll be fine all by myself. If there's a few people along with me, great. Oh, that's a nice setup right there. I like fried catfish. Oh yeah, it's some Southern love. I wanted to get some boudin balls when I was in uh, Georgia. I didn't get any boudin balls, but I like the Florida gas station, like dirty pantry places. You got fried collard greens, catfish. Oh yeah, some mac and cheese. That's Florida food for me. What exactly am I preaching, Shelly? Freedom? I That's what I preach is freedom. And I do live freedom. Some people call me a gypsy. I call myself very, very free. I call myself a feral man, airy, undomesticated. Some van lifers right there. And it's not a cheap setup there by any means. Yeah, tone and delivery are everything. You get more bees with honey. That was one of my biggest things I took out of my cultivation case. Uh, how you talk to people, the tone, how you deliver it, all important. Yeah, I have to work on Monday and Tuesday in Miami, and then Wednesday, Thursday, I have to work too, closer to the convoy. I got to go to Miami for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, and then Port Lucie. It's in the title of the stream. Something Fish Club and RV Park. Forgot the name. It's the final destination for the Florida convoy today. Arnold's? No. Yeah, it's in the title of the video. Whatever the title of the video says. That's where I'm headed. Well, thank you, Shelly. I hope the best to you in YouTube world. And hopefully everyone sees through my BS. I have done a lot of magic shows for children, so I have been known to be a liar. So hopefully people are smart enough to be able to see when someone's being a hypocrite and they make their own decision. So thank you, Shelly. You have a wonderful day. Much love. Blood in, blood out. That's my favorite movie in the world. Blood in, blood out. Fuck those locos forever.